Being single is the best choice that I've ever made for myself, and I'm gonna go deep into the why. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you how long I've been single for. I'll give you a brief rundown and a backstory of my situationships. So I've had one true relationship that was 5 years, and from a young age, thankfully, taught me a lot of lessons. This one in particular, I was very much not trying to change him, but trying to make him the person I wanted in a relationship. And at the time, I didn't realize that's what I was doing. I was just being all I knew was a girlfriend to be at that point. So I was fully invested. I always am. If I'm into one person, I'm into one person. I don't believe in this multiple choice kind of way of life. It's just not for me. And I guess I expected him to meet me at the vision that I saw for him and us. And yeah, it took me a long time to learn that that's not how to be in a relationship. That's not a relationship. They're not a case study. They're not someone that you can try and make into a person that you want them to be. They will either do it themselves or they're just not gonna do it. So I guess I've realized over the years that loyalty and love for someone isn't enough. And it also shouldn't require years of effort to learn that. I just naturally am a very loyal person. And when I love fully. I can't do this half in, half out. I'm either all in or I'm not at all. I'm all or nothing with everything in life, to be fair, not just relationships. That is just my nature. This isn't to start shaming my exes and people that I've been involved with. This is to share my learnings through these experiences and see if any of it you can relate to. Have you seen these patterns before? Do you recognize what I'm saying and be like, oh my gosh, I've had that happen in a relationship with me? And one thing that I've realized in the last year and a bit is a lot of us fall for the potential of somebody and not the reality of somebody. Obviously in the first instance, they call it the honeymoon period. That is literally performative mode. 9 times out of 10, it is just a period. Why is it just a period? There's been performance happening in that era. You're showing up as your best self. And unless you can continue that and it's not an act and you are just constantly your best self, fair play. But that's often where things misalign and the fantasy kicks in and you start looking for the potential in that person and being disappointed with the reality of that person, but not understanding the mismatch. So yeah, avoid creating a mental narrative of the future that doesn't exist. That alone is just, it's draining and it's actually really difficult. They have no idea that's what you're doing. You're living in the fantasy, you're living in the potential, and they're very much just in the reality, oh, this is great. Unaware. So yeah, for me, looking back on my relationships, situationships, I can clearly see now where things went wrong and why I'm so glad none of them worked out for me. So glad. They are not what I want. And I look back at it now with a clear head and grown. I've learned from all these things now, and it's clear as day. They were never going to work. And I'd be but maybe it's just this. Well, maybe this is what's happening, and maybe he's thinking this, or blah, blah, blah. And I would just convince myself that the disrespect is not as disrespectful. And again, that's just trying to see the good in somebody, thinking in my head, well, I would never do that to them. People will do shitty things to you. It is what it is. So long as you live with a pure heart and you're, showing up as the best version, the right person will find you. But you will come across people that do not have that same clean heart, and it does hurt because you think, I would never do that to you. And that was something I struggled with quite a lot. How can you do that to me? I would never do that to you. And it would actually fall under a victimizing mindset, because poor me is how I would see it. Now, those kind of situations, it would just be, yeah, we're not aligned. Your morals are different to mine, and that's fine, but you're not for me. Move on. getting that shift and recognizing them early. Listen to the first thought that comes to mind when these things crop up. Don't try and dismiss it. Don't try and think it's something else. Just live with the reality. Yeah, if only I did that all those years ago. Oh well, these are the lessons in life. And I'm glad I did it all in my 20s and learned everything in my 20s. So now in my 30s, I know what I want, I know what I'm showing up as, and I know what I expect from the husband. Yeah, and I think another tough one is the hope and the wishfulness of what could have happened, and it could have been this way, and if they'd have just done this, then it could have been this. Like, that's just a pointless mind exercise. They're not thinking that way. Don't waste your time or energy on it. Like, don't live in the wishful thinking, because unfortunately people will disappoint you. People probably have disappointed you. It is what it is. But yeah, I definitely think being single for as long as I have has taught me every lesson. Like, this, obviously I'm not saying that I know everything and I'm perfect now. There is still lessons to learn always. Like, all throughout life there will be lessons and challenges that you come across that you've not had to learn from before. Like, where I am now to where I used to be 5-10 years ago, wow, I'm not even anything of that person anymore, and I'm so glad that I'm not. Like, I don't want to erase it, because that was just a young, naive period of my life where, again, like, I thought everything was poor me. Why is this happening to me? Now I'm like, what's the lesson in this? You know, that shift of mindset makes life a whole lot easier. And it just naturally come with growth. Like, if you're down that path and you are doing self-development, you'll realise these things. Obviously, if you're not doing any self-development, you'll always be in the why me mindset, the victim mindset. One thing I've also learned over the years is don't ever take people's word for things. Wait until the actions show up. Because 9 times out of 10, the actions don't show up. And if they do, you're like, okay, I like this. Because they're following through, they're leading with integrity, and integrity is a huge value for me. Like, my values personally, and this is what I bring as well as expect: integrity, self-awareness, honesty, punctuality, and accountability. And I reel them off my head quite easily because I've drilled them into me, and I'm also life coaching at the moment. So they're going into my job as well as my personal life, as well as what I seek from my partner when he arrives. So it's an all-rounder for me. Like, if you haven't got those 5 things, we're just not going to align. And I think setting your own values and sticking by them, if you know you show up as that, you have every right to ask for that in return. Like, that's not asking too much. Do not take breadcrumbs. Don't take the bare minimal and let somebody believe that your standards are too high, because that's a common one that I've had as well, going through all these situationships. I can't give you what you want. I love that one. Okay, that's a polite way of saying, you require too much. I don't want to give that much. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and I think as well, I've learned over the years, especially after my first relationship, that rejection isn't a bad thing. If somebody rejects you, that's not a personal attack on you. Like, when my ex never chased me, never wanted me back, I always ended up going back for him. Yeah, it would never be the other way around. He would never chase me back. Now I look back, I will never go and chase a man again that does me wrong. Never. Like, no thank you. My life's peaceful over here. Unless you're adding to that peace, I do not want to know. I do not care for it. There are men out there that will be disciplined, that are doing the work on themselves, that are growing into a man they want to be, for a woman they want in their life. And finding that is going to take time, because they're not going to be out doing the showy things and moving to girls all the time. Like, they're not going to be functioning like that. It's the same with me and what I do. Like, my daily habits and my daily routines, I'm not out there. Like, I don't know how I'm going to find my man, because I'm not out and about. I'm not a big social person. I will be doing things that align with me. And if I find my man, I find my man. If I don't, I don't. I think now going forward into relationships that compatibility will come in a very calm way. It won't feel like butterflies. That butterflies is like a gut feeling telling you, this is mismatch. And I remember one guy that I was seeing, and whenever he stayed at my house, I never slept. And I mean, I did not sleep a wink while he was in my bed. And at the time, I just thought, I'm nervous because I like him. No, that was major red flags. Like, if I can't sleep with the man next to me, he needs to be out of my bed. When I think back, like, wow, I couldn't sleep with you in my bed. I couldn't rest. My body was not letting me rest. That's insane when you think about it now. But when I was in that moment, that one messed me up a bit, to be fair. Like, that was a tough, long seeing stage that never progressed to anything, like just pure waste of time. And, he said all the right things, did all the charm, played it cool, and I was like playing it cool as well when that's not what I wanted. Yeah, that was bad. When I think back, don't take breadcrumbs, guys. Listen to your body as well. Like, your body will tell you. If you feel calm around someone and you feel you can be your authentic self and show up and just be you, and they want to see you again, like, that's a good sign. You need to be feeling calm and zen to accept somebody in. And yeah, that I think is a big mismatch in my history anyway. Like, I just went off looks, and if they got game, if they were funny, that would be my 3. Like, that's not enough. Nowhere near enough now. Oh dear. When you think back of all these things, I'm so glad it happened in my 20s and not my 30s. I'm so glad I didn't have children before now either, because I'd have been in a broken relationship, bringing up kids and having to be communicating with someone I just don't align with. Like, I just don't want that for myself. So yeah, very grateful for the lessons, and I'm glad I came out from it. Like, I've not stayed in that loop. And I came out of that loop because I did a somatic release, an emotional release. And it was pinpointing the patterns of friendships and relationships that I wasn't feeling good about, that I wasn't feeling like I was getting anything back from, that kind of dynamic. And it turns out I was overgiving and bonding through trauma. And that's not like, trauma's a wide spectrum of things that we're talking about. But there was something in the element of me overgiving from the way my nervous system was wired as a child, how I set it up. And yeah, just not realizing that's how I was connecting with people and bonding. And the last person I was involved with was another version of this trauma bonding thing. And, I'm not in the same place as what we were in the first time around that we connected, far from it, but I still sort of fell for the performance mode and was disappointed when that stopped, because it was a performance mode. He couldn't keep it up. He couldn't be consistent, and he wasn't leading with integrity. So that's when the cracks started to show, and that's when I was like, yeah, I'm not interested in this anymore. I'm not waiting for you to be following through with what you're saying. I'm not here for it. Like, you've had your chance the first time. I'm not giving you another. So that was the time I was talking with him when I had this somatic release, and I literally, by the next day, my body was calm. All this tension and anxious feeling had gone, and I slept like a baby. And the next day I was like, I remember realizing that I was thinking about him in the reality, and all the fantasy future thinking where this is going to go, that had all stopped. I couldn't make it come into my head. That's so bizarre to say out loud, but those thoughts had just gone, and the reality was very much here. And my mindset around it was like, I am so not into you right now. Like, this is it, we are done. I would definitely recommend going for a somatic emotional release if you feel that there is some form of trauma bonding that you're doing, but you're not sure what or how. Or if you notice that cycles and patterns keep happening and you end up in the same situations all the time, there's something there deeper that needs addressing, and I would highly recommend going for a somatic release, because that's broke it for me. Like, I don't see any of the situations I was in the same light as I did. I'm now like, oh, that makes sense. So yeah, breaking that trauma bonding cycle, it will allow you to be open for true, calm connection, genuine connection, not just lust and physical appearance like that. You know, the rooted compatibility, that's what we need to be striving for in our partner. Because the two most important decisions you make in your life is your job and your partner. Because you spend so much time with both of them. They'll either make or break you. And that is why I've been single for nearly 10 years. That sounds old. I'm only 31 and my relationship ended at 21. 16 to 21 was my relationship. And that's why I say I'm so glad it happened when I was young, because all through my 20s, while I was buying my house, renovating it, building my business for myself, I was working on myself. There was intervals where I was like, okay, I'm open for dating, I'm open for a relationship. And I'm so glad I've not got involved or entertained anything long enough to be stuck in my life in any way. Like, I'm very grateful, and don't see it as a red flag if you've been single for a long time. If you've been working on yourself and you've just been focused, you know, your life comes first. You're not successful just because you're in a relationship. If you're just, again, elevating yourself, working on yourself, bettering yourself, if you're doing all of that, then that needs to be done alone. Yeah, the focus just needs to be on you. So yeah, I don't know how many people that would have shocked. 10 years sounds like a fucking long time. But yeah, just been focusing on me. Like, I'm open to the opportunities if they arise, but it takes a lot for me to be interested in somebody. I think takeaways from this episode would be sit with things a bit more intentionally before making emotional decisions. That's one thing I've learned. Identifying patterns in past scenarios, and you know, that can point to the fact that you need to do work on yourself, which I've learned. Don't try and change somebody and make them the person you want them to be. They'll either do it and step up, or you'll just constantly be taking on that role, and that's draining for you. I would know. And also enjoy being single if you've got this time to be single. Like, I've been traveling for the last year on my own, doing whatever the fuck I want, and I've loved it. I've had nobody to think about, nobody to prioritize but me, nobody to please, nobody to plan for. It's been divine. And I do want that partnership, that solid family unit where it's just constant growth together. But until then, I'm staying on my own in my peaceful bubble. I do think the single periods of life should be your training periods. Like, tune in. You need to tune in, not look out. Get focused. There's always work to be done on yourself. And if you think there isn't, then yeah, we'll leave that there. So yeah, if you like content like this, and if you've learned anything from it, or if you've got any questions, or if I've missed any details on anything, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and drop me a comment, and I'll speak to you soon.